2, simplify -2 times -3 minus 3 times -2 minus 4 minus -3 minus 2 plus 3 times 4 minus 2. One thing that I will recommend here, one thing that I've noticed students messing up with in the past, is they'll change multiplications into additions or subtractions, or additions, subtractions into multiplications. If you make a mental note at least before you start, these three things are all being multiplied together, so that whole product has to be evaluated before this comes into play. And this right here is being subtracted, so that has to be evaluated. And these guys here are being multiplied together, that has to be evaluated before you can add or subtract. If you at least make a mental note of all your multiplications going on, notice the purple underlined stuff. I got -2, this is -6, and this is also -6. All three of those things are being multiplied, they're still all being multiplied.
Wait, what did you get? Negative.
How do you get? Oh, because he's adding. They're same numbers.
Negative and negative is the same sign, so I add. They're both negative, so it's negative. 2 and 4, they're both negative, so I add. They're both negative, so it's negative. Next, I got a minus sign, so there's a minus sign. Next parentheses, -3 and -2. I'm going to add because the signs are the same. 3 is bigger, so it's negative. On the red part, I got plus. I've got a 3 that's not being dealt with yet. 4 minus 2 is equal to 2. When you're dealing with addition or subtraction, when you have to make that decision, should I add the numbers or subtract the numbers, it's a simple question of do they have the same or different signs. Same signs add, different signs subtract. Take the sign of the bigger number if you're working two numbers at a time. Okay, next, the multiplications. This is all being multiplied. 2 times 6 times 6 is 72. 1, 2, 3 negatives is odd number of negatives, so it's negative. In the multiplication phase of this problem, odd number of negatives is negative, even number of negatives is positive. So 3 negatives is odd, we get a negative. 5 is 5, and there's 2 minuses, which changes to plus. It doesn't change to times positive 5, it changes to plus 5. This is subtraction, this is subtraction, it can change to addition, it cannot change to multiplication. The red part, 3 times 2 is 6, and no negatives is even, so it's positive. Okay, so do all your multiplications. You should be left with just addition, subtraction at this point. These two numbers make 11. And those signs are opposite, so I subtract. 72 is bigger, so it's negative. Negative 61 is the final answer. Take your time getting the answers to these problems. Every time I do a test and I grade test, there's a careless mistake on there, something everybody knows. 4 times 3 equals 12, but on your test today it equals 7. It's happened. I've seen it happen. You know, just crazy stuff like that. 7 minus 2 equals 9, I think happened on the study guide, right?
12 minus
12 minus 4, 12 minus
No, I did
8 equals 5, I think, or something like that.
I did 7 minus 2 equals 9.
Yeah, there you go.
There's 12 minus 7.
12 minus 7 equals like 4 or something weird like that. Yeah. So anyway, take your time. My guess is everybody finished the test before the bell rang. In that 10, 15 minutes or so after you finish the test, take your time, look through the stuff. Or maybe, like, if you finish a problem and just don't feel at ease about it, just put a little circle around that number to know, I want to go back and check that one when I'm done to make sure that I really got it right. All right, and if you go through your work and you see you got it right, that's great. But, you know, when I make a careless mistake, I usually get this kind of a gut feeling like I did something wrong. Yeah, I can't see it at the time because I just did it. So if I take a step back and then do something else, come back to it, I look through my work again, I a lot of times find my mistakes. All right, and that does happen to everybody. All right, this happens. So just be watching for that.